The paradox of sleep. Tonight, when the sun sets, more than 8 billion people on Earth will simultaneously fall into an extremely terrifying biological state. Your body will be completely locked down. Your conscious system will sink into hallucination, and every memory that just occurred will be wiped clean within minutes. If this phenomenon appeared in the middle of the day, doctors would diagnose you with a serious neurological disorder. But when night falls, this is not a disease. This is the most valuable feature evolution has ever equipped the human brain with. Consider this. You think your brain rests while you sleep? Unfortunately, you're wrong. While your consciousness pauses, your brain secretly launches a biological supercomputer. It discards all the rules of physics, breaks the boundaries of logic, and solves the most impossible problems that leave you completely stuck when you're awake. In the winter of 1862, chemist Friedrich Kekulé was completely defeated by the mysterious structure of benzene. Exhausted, he collapsed at his desk. In his fitful dream, he saw a fiery snake coiling into a circle, biting its own tail. A fateful spark. The benzene ring structure was born that very night, reshaping the entire history of modern chemistry. Or on a night in 1965, Paul McCartney woke up in the middle of the night. The melody of the greatest love song of the 20th century, Yesterday, was already sitting there in his mind, complete, perfect, note for note. So what exactly is a dream? Why does the brain have to drag us into such a bizarre hallucination cinema every single night? Behind the door of sleep lies not an empty void, but a powerful biological matrix. Right now, we're going to decode the greatest mystery hiding inside your own skull. Part 2. The 1952 Aserinsky experiment. To understand this extraordinary phenomenon, we have to rewind time to an aging laboratory at the University of Chicago back in 1952. At the time, the entire medical establishment held one firm belief. When you fall asleep, the brain simply unplugs. It shuts off like a light bulb losing power, sinking into unconsciousness while the body recovers. But Eugene Aserinsky, a young graduate student, had his doubts. That night, Aserinsky began an experiment his colleagues considered a waste of time. He taped dozens of tangled electrode wires onto the head of his own 8-year-old son, Armand, then sat back in the darkness. His only goal, to record a person's brainwave activity across an entire night. The first few hours passed in tedious silence. The machine traced long, slow, gentle waves. Armand lay still as stone. Everything unfolded exactly as the textbooks of the era had predicted. But then, as the clock crept toward 3 a.m., the silence was shattered. The data recorder suddenly erupted into chaos. Armand's brain waves spiked into a frenzy, matching the frequency and amplitude of someone who was fully awake, even someone tensely solving a difficult calculus problem or racing a car at breakneck speed. Startled, Aserinsky stepped closer to the bed. But Armand hadn't woken up. His body remained slack, completely motionless. The absurd contrast between a body that looked dead and a brain that was exploding left Aserinsky stunned. Noticing that this strange brain activity coincided with rhythmic movements beneath his son's eyelids, Aserinsky immediately woke the boy. There was no grogginess, no disorientation of someone pulled from the void. Armand opened his eyes and instantly began recounting a vivid, richly detailed experience that had just unfolded in his mind. This wasn't a one-time fluke. It happened again, night after night, across many other volunteers. The discovery delivered a stunning blow to the entire theoretical foundation of neuroscience at the time. Humanity had to officially rewrite the textbooks to name a completely new state, rapid eye movement, REM sleep. It turned out that behind the closed curtain of your eyelids, the brain never sinks into the void. It's simply waiting for you to disconnect from reality, so it can begin building a universe entirely its own. Part 3. the 4 biohack stages of REM. But this discovery opened an even thornier question. What biological mechanisms, exactly, are quietly at work inside the skull? Mechanisms that turn a person lying paralyzed in bed into the director of the wildest scripts imaginable, and the sole actor living them out? The moment your eyeballs start darting back and forth and you step into the world of REM, your brain isn't just simply dreaming. To run a hallucination cinema that's realistic down to the smallest detail, without hurting you in the process, the brain has to carry out a biological intervention that is both ruthless and astonishingly precise. It triggers 4 core changes. 1. The automatic muscle lock, biological paralysis. Safety comes first. The moment REM begins, the brainstem instantly releases a sweeping wave of inhibitory chemicals, cutting off every motor signal sent down the spinal cord. The result? All the major muscle groups in your body are completely locked down. This is an extraordinarily sophisticated survival mechanism built by nature. Picture this. If you're dreaming you're an MMA fighter in the middle of a match or frantically running from an attacker, this mechanism keeps your arms and legs pinned still on the mattress. Without this biological lock, you'd end up punching the person sleeping next to you in the face, or even smashing headfirst through a window, all while your eyes stay shut tight. The hallucination machine, realistic hallucinations. Next step, building the set. Right now, the visual cortex at the back of your head lights up with an enormous surge of energy. It starts pulling fragments of memory, color, and shape to paint an entirely new world. Here's the astonishing part. To your brain, seeing a dragon with your actual eyes and conjuring that same dragon in a dream activate nearly identical neural regions. Colors in dreams become unnaturally vivid, edges impossibly sharp, because you're not seeing through your retina. You're seeing through the raw energy of billions of firing neurons. Breaking the bridge of reason, the logic shut down. And here's the funniest part of the entire process. Have you ever wondered why, in a dream, riding a giant chicken to buy bubble tea in outer space feels completely normal and perfectly reasonable? The answer lies in the prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for logical reasoning, skepticism, and the ability to judge reality. During REM, this region gets temporarily switched off. When the logical judge is escorted out of the control room, your brain completely loses its ability to doubt. No matter how absurd or illogical an event is, you accept it as plain, undeniable fact, right up until the moment you open your eyes. The memory self-destruct button, memory wipe. Boom. Your eyes open. The alarm goes off. At that exact instant, a race against time begins. Throughout the dream, norepinephrine, the core chemical needed to write memories onto long-term storage, gets drained down to nearly zero. The brain keeps issuing the same deletion order. All this chaotic footage is just junk data. Wipe it clean. That's why, just 5 minutes after waking, 50% of your dream content is already gone. And after 10 minutes, 90% of the details from that entire insane world you just lived in will have vanished completely, as if it had never existed at all. These 4 biological interventions turn your skull into the perfect hallucination cinema, a place where you are the director, the lead actor, and the sole audience member, all at once. Part 4. Sleep cycles and animal dreaming. The hallucination cinema inside your head doesn't run continuously for 8 straight hours. It operates on a strict, repeating schedule that neuroscientists call the sleep cycle. Picture your night's sleep as a 90-minute journey, one you have to repeat 4 to 6 times every single night. The 90-minute journey, the moment you close your eyes, you step into the first 2 stations, NREM 1 and NREM 2, light sleep. Your heart rate slows, your body temperature drops, but you're still easily jolted awake by nothing more than your cat's soft footsteps crossing the floor. But right after that, the brain plunges down into the 3rd station, NREM 3, deep sleep. This is when slow, powerful delta brainwaves seize complete control. Your consciousness vanishes entirely, making way for the body's most intense shift of work, repairing damaged tissue, building muscle, strengthening the immune system, and clearing out toxins accumulated in the brain. If someone accidentally yanks you awake during this stage, you'll be left dazed and disoriented beyond belief. Only once the body's maintenance is complete does the brain finally announce, "All right, showtime." Brainwaves suddenly erupt, launching you straight into REM. And this is where the dream world officially begins. The 5 a.m. twist. But here's the fascinating part. Sleep cycles are not identical from the start of the night to the end. In the first half of the night, the brain devotes up to 80% of its time to deep sleep, NREM3, to restore an exhausted body. But as morning approaches, that ratio completely flips. Deep sleep all but disappears, giving way to REM stretches that grow longer and longer, from just 10 minutes in the first cycle, surging up to 30, even 60 minutes by the final cycle. That's why the strangest, longest, most vivid, most cinematic dreams always happen around 5 to 6 a.m., right before that hateful alarm goes off and tears it all to shreds. You're not alone in the Matrix. And if you think this late-night hallucination experience is a privilege exclusive to humans, you're wrong. Scientists have recorded REM brainwave activity in most mammals, and even in birds. If you've ever sat and watched your dog sound asleep, its legs twitching now and then, its tail giving little wags, tiny growls escaping its throat, don't worry. It's not startled, and it's not having a nightmare. It's simply chasing a giant squirrel with total ferocity through its very own hallucination park. The fact that both humans and animals go through paralysis and dreaming every single night has led researchers to a thorny question. If dreaming is this universal, this important, how did our ancestors, people who never had a single brainwave machine or electrode, ever make sense of this mysterious world? Part 5. Historical Perspectives, Egypt to Freud and Jung. Thousands of years before Eugene Aserinsky taped the very first electrode wires onto his son's head, humanity was already both fascinated and terrified by this late-night cinema. With no brainwave machines, no PET scanners, our ancestors decoded these hallucinations using the only tools they had: myth and imagination. Weather forecasts for divine decree. In ancient Egypt, dreams weren't a product of the brain. They were direct messages sent down by the gods. They valued dreams so highly that they built entire sleep temples for them. People would come, sink into a trance under the watch of priests. The next morning, professional dream decoders would translate the gods' messages. And the way they interpreted them was wonderfully strange. Dreamed you died a gruesome death? Don't panic. The Egyptians believed that was an omen you'd live an exceptionally long life. Dreamed you were urinating into the Nile? Congratulations. Your harvest would be bountiful and wealth would flow in like water. Back then, dreams functioned as a kind of weather forecast for human destiny. Freud's pull from heaven down to the couch. That divine worldview reigned for centuries, until the early 20th century, when a cigar-addicted man showed up and turned everything upside down. Sigmund Freud. In 1900, Freud published his earth-shaking book, The Interpretation of Dreams. He ripped dreams straight out of the hands of the gods and dragged them down onto the couch of the psychiatrist's office. Freud made a now iconic claim. Dreams are the royal road to the unconscious. According to him, a dream wasn't a message from the cosmos. It was a repressed desire wearing a disguise. Human instinct burns with hidden longings, sexual urges, and dark corners that daytime morality and society won't allow to surface. To protect your mind from being driven mad by guilt, the brain plays the role of a censor. It encodes these sensitive desires into a whole array of symbols, a staff, a key, even a narrow passage. Through Freud's lens, No detail in a dream is random. Every single one is a hidden love letter written by instinct. Carl Jung's expansion. By the 1910s and 1920s, Freud's most brilliant student, Carl Jung, took the theory to an entirely new level. Jung argued that dreams don't just carry small, personal desires. They also connect to a collective unconscious, a shared reservoir of memory belonging to all of humanity. That's why, whether you live in New York, Tokyo, or a remote tribal village, we all experience strikingly similar dreams about heroes, witches, or monsters lurking in the dark. To Jung, dreaming was the mind's way of healing itself, a way to confront your own shadow and become more whole. For nearly a century, the theories of Freud and Jung captivated the entire world. The idea that every dream is a mysterious code waiting to be cracked. But when full brain scanning technologies emerged in the late 20th century, neuroscientists began to uncover a far harsher truth. Behind those fantastical stories, the real mechanism was far more practical and far more biological than anyone had imagined. Part 6. 5 Modern Scientific Theories. Setting aside Freud's mystical symbolism and the spirituality of the ancients, modern scientists raise a question rooted in pure survival. Why did evolution keep dreaming around? Consider this. For millions of years, lying motionless for hours, eyes darting back and forth, minds sunk in hallucination, made our ancestors extraordinarily easy prey for predators. If dreaming didn't carry some massive biological benefit, nature would have wiped it out of our DNA long ago. To decode this costly trait, modern neuroscience has put forward 5 core theories. 1. Defragmenting the mind's hard drive, consolidation theory. Picture your brain as a computer running nonstop all day. Every piece of data you take in, a math lesson, a new coworker's face, a random TikTok clip, sits as temporary memory, RAM, in the hippocampus. When night falls, REM sleep is the cleanup and defragmentation process. The brain scans through the day's entire data, filters out what matters to transfer onto the long-term hard drive, the cortex, and deletes the unnecessary clutter. The bizarre dreams you experience are simply a side effect of these data files being pulled up, shuffled around, and resaved overnight. The late-night emotional emotional healing. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker of UC Berkeley made a startling discovery. Dreaming is a free therapy session delivered every single night. During REM sleep, the brain is the only place in your entire body that goes completely clean of norepinephrine, the chemical responsible for stress and fear. This lets the brain replay painful memories, arguments, or psychological trauma inside an environment that is, chemically speaking, absolutely safe. Dreaming about a terrible experience helps you strip away the raw emotional pain from the original memory. That's why the sting of yesterday's pain often feels noticeably duller the morning after a night's sleep. The VR survival simulator, threat simulation theory. Have you ever dreamed of being chased by some monstrous beast, free-falling from a skyscraper, or forgetting about a final exam even though you graduated 10 years ago? According to the threat simulation theory proposed by researcher Andy Ravanchuo, dreaming is essentially a survival VR game. The brain randomly generates the most dangerous scenarios imaginable so your genetic wiring can rehearse its responses. As you practice fleeing, fighting, or facing failure inside a dream, the neural circuits tied to survival get trained, without any real-world, life-threatening risk. It turns out nightmares are actually a protective feature. The brain's AI training algorithm, deep learning, and overfitting. From a modern computer science perspective, the brain behaves like an artificial intelligence model. If an AI keeps training on the same familiar, everyday data over and over, it falls into a state called overfitting, becoming rigid, formulaic, and stripped of creative capacity. To prevent that, the brain deliberately manufactures dreams that are strange, illogical, and chaotic. By forcing the mind to process absurd scenarios, like riding a carp through outer space, the brain keeps its neural networks flexible, sharp, and ready to adapt to the most unexpected situations real life can throw at it. It's just data noise. Activation synthesis theory. And finally, a theory that's brutal but deeply convincing, put forward by scientists Alan Hobson and Robert McCarley. Dreams don't carry any deep meaning at all. While you sleep, the brainstem fires off random electrical pulses just to keep the system alive. The visual cortex picks up this noisy signal and tries to stitch it into a coherent story. A dream is simply the brain's attempt to translate static into images, the same way you might glance at a cloud and suddenly see the shape of a dragon in it. Whether you believe in the late-night emotional ER, the VR survival simulator, or nothing more than random noise, one undeniable fact remains. Dreaming is a critical key to keeping the human mind sane. But the story of dreams doesn't end there. Because there's a special group of people who refuse to remain passive audience members. They walk into the late-night cinema, grab the wheel, and bend the entire dream reality with their own two hands. That is the world of lucid dreaming, the conscious dream. Part 7. Lucid Dreaming and the Dark Side. In a lucid dream, the prefrontal cortex, the logical judge that gets shut off during REM, suddenly snaps back awake. A neural switch flips on. You look down at your hand and see it has 6 fingers, or glance at a clock and watch the numbers dance around chaotically. Instantly, you blurt out, "Wait, this is a dream." And in that exact instant, the entire power dynamic flips. You go from being an audience member watching the film to becoming the director and the supreme ruler of that reality. Want to soar over skyscrapers? Snap your fingers. Want to chat with Albert Einstein or fly out into space? It's all just one thought away. fMRI brain scans show that when you dream you're running or shaking someone's hand in a lucid dream, your brain actually activates nearly the exact same motor cortex regions it would if you were doing that in real life. Hacking your way into a lucid dream. This isn't some mystical superpower. It's a neural state that can absolutely be trained. Researchers have documented 2 of the most common methods. Reality testing. Build a habit of checking whether you're dreaming while you're wide awake, like counting your fingers or glancing at a clock twice in a row. Once this habit sinks into your subconscious, you'll automatically perform it inside a dream too. And that's when you'll catch the glitch. Mild, mnemonic induction of lucid dreams developed by sleep researcher Stephen LaBerge. Right before drifting off, you repeat a mantra in your head over and over. Next time I'm dreaming, I will remember that I'm dreaming. This technique reprograms your perspective memory. The dark side, the line between magic and disaster. But the key to this fairy tale world doesn't come for free. Deliberately interfering with and bending the brain's natural mechanisms comes with some costs worth thinking hard about. Neural exhaustion. Nature designed REM sleep to let the brain freely consolidate memory and heal emotionally, undisturbed by conscious thought. When you force the prefrontal cortex to wake up and pilot a VR game all night, you're interfering with that self-restoration process. You'll wake up feeling stiff and drained, as if you just worked through an exhausting shift. Increased frequency of sleep paralysis. When you're consciously awake, but the biological muscle lock mechanism from Part 3 hasn't released yet, you fall into the worst kind of nightmare. Eyes wide open, mind fully alert, but your entire body completely paralyzed, accompanied by the sensation of a dark shadow pressing down on your chest. Blurring the line between real and fake. False awakening. Persistently practicing lucid dreaming increases the risk of experiencing a false awakening. You dream that you've woken up, brushed your teeth, gone to work, only to be jolted with the realization that you're still trapped in another layer of the dream, triggering an overwhelming sense of disorientation about what's real. Lucid dreaming proves something extraordinary. The only limit on the cinema inside your head is your own imagination. But whether you're someone who sleeps deep and remembers nothing, or a skilled director of lucid dreams, every one of us wakes up each morning facing the same final question. How do we master sleep and turn dreams into the ultimate recovery tool for real life? Part 8. Mastering the late-night cinema. Our journey to decode the world of dreams has carried us through thousands of years of history and into the deepest corners of the human brain. From a divine mystery in ancient Egypt, through Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic couch, all the way to the brainwave electrodes of a modern laboratory, we've come to realize this. Dreaming isn't a random glitch. It's evolution's greatest work of biological art. Looking back at the map of the night, every night, the moment you close your eyes and let go of reality, the brain deliberately paralyzes your body to protect you from harm. It severs your logic, unlocks your emotional core, and fires up the image projector at full speed. It carries you through 90-minute cycles to clear out data clutter, heal psychological wounds, and train your survival instincts for the day ahead. Whether or not you remember your dreams, that cinema is always quietly running, keeping you sane and keeping you alive. The age of stealing the cinema away. But in a modern world drowning in blue light and relentless pace, we're unknowingly destroying this work of art. When you stay up late scrolling your phone, overuse stimulants, or sacrifice sleep to squeeze out a few extra hours of work, you're not just cutting into your body's rest time. You're directly robbing yourself of REM sleep, stealing away the one key to your own psychological healing and creativity. To respect and fully harness the power of this late-night cinema, science offers 3 golden rules. 1. Keep your natural rhythm. Consistency. Go to bed and wake up at a fixed time. The brain needs predictability to build precise REM cycles. Create absolute darkness. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, the biological conductor that signals to the body that it's time to rest. Turn off electronic devices at least 45 minutes before bed. Welcome your dreams instead of fighting them. If you wake up from a strange dream or a nightmare, don't panic. Smile instead. It's a sign your brain just finished an excellent night's shift of psychological cleanup. Closing words. Tonight, as you set aside the day's worries, rest your head on the pillow and slowly close your eyes. Remember, you're not just going to sleep. You're about to step into the most advanced virtual reality experience in the entire universe. One where every limit of physics, time, and space simply dissolves. The cinema inside your head is ready. The lights are about to dim. Sweet dreams. Have you ever had a strange dream or an unforgettable episode of sleep paralysis? Share your story in the comments below. And if you love journeys into the depths of the brain and the universe like this one, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.